Looking for a fun way to win up to 25 times your money this basketball season? Test your skills on Prize Picks, the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projection for a wide variety of stats, and place your entry. It's as easy as that. If you have the skills, you can turn $10 into $250 with just a few taps. Easy gameplay, quick withdrawals, and injury insurance on your picks are what make Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. Ready to test your skills? Join the Prize Picks community of more than 7 million players who have already signed up. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Just visit prizepicks.com/get100 and use code GET100. That's code GET100 at prizepicks.com/get100 for a first deposit matchup to $100. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy. Looking for a fun way to win up to 25 times your money this football season? Test your skills on Prize Picks, the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projection for a wide variety of statistics, and place your entry. It's as easy as that. If you have the skills, you can turn $10 into $250 with just a few taps. Easy gameplay, quick withdrawals, and an enormous selection of players and stat options are what make Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. Ready to test your skills? Join the Prize Picks community of more than 7 million football fans who have already signed up. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Just visit prizepicks.com/get100 and use code GET100. That's code GET100 at prizepicks.com/get100 for a first deposit matchup to $100. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy.
This episode contains references to suicide. Listener discretion is advised.
Last week on Stick Shifts Incorporated.
My name is Skyler. Are you Jules Mason?
Who are you? Thank you for riding with Stick Shift Incorporated.
I must be hallucinating.
Please help me. She's really lost it this time. I'm afraid she might kill again.
If you put too many eggs in a basket, one of them's gonna drop out and split right open.
You gotta take time to go out. If you don't, are you even alive, bro?
There was a flicker in the system.
We can't risk exposure. If Skyler becomes a problem, I'll handle them.
And that assessment? It definitely does not go as planned. That is seriously going to get on my nerves. I know you can't see this, but I'm in a cave. The air is stale and sits heavy on my tongue. The entire space is damp and old and unforgiving. There is a weight here, like 1,000 memories pressing down on you all at once. But if I'm down here, I'm sure he has a good reason for it. It's just that he can be so frustrating sometimes, and I need some answers. Like, how is this cave recording everything I'm saying? There isn't a single electronic device within a mile of here. I saw him set off the EMP device myself. Without warning, mind you. If I still had a phone, I would have been furious. Right now, all I see is stone and stone and more stone. No wires, not even a torch. I shouldn't even be able to see anything. Why can't I see? None of this makes any sense. At least last time I was in a room with lamps and could pretend that I was using a computer. But that's not how it really works, is it? Is it? Not that he'll answer me. I don't even know if he's watching. I guess I always knew, somewhere deep down, that it was... There's that feeling again, like a buzz between my ears, but also a little bit floaty. Like, not in an unpleasant way. And now there's some kind of interface that's popped up. It looks like a computer screen being projected on the cave wall. Only it's not quite on the wall, more like somewhere just in front of it, or maybe a little behind? Like it's soaked a few inches into the stone. All my files are here, though, even my notes. How would I even open... Oh. Okay. The interface is telekinetic, or something like telekinesis, but deeper in the bones? All right. Let's try this file. I remember this. It was the day after I met Jules Mason. We're looking down into Club Cafe. Vancouver has a million cafes, but this one has lots of light and a cute little garden in the back. The decor is a little steampunk too, which I love. Oh, and that's me there, behind the counter. Ugh. I did not get much sleep the night before. Look at those bags under my eyes. An elderly gentleman is at the counter. He smells faintly of tobacco and... Wait. Why can I smell this video? The coffee grounds, fresh bread. That's one Americano to go. And your name is?
Henry.
That's funny. I met a woman yesterday who kept talking about a Henry.
It's a pretty common name.
Of course. It's just not a name I've seen around lately. Your total is $6.50, including GST. How would you like to pay?
Credit.
He hands me the card, and the name printed on it is Your Henry Mason.
You heard of me?
I met a lady friend of yours yesterday.
Lady friend? I'm a married man. I would never cheat on my sweet Jules.
Jules, yes, that was her name. Your friend, the lady. Oh boy, I had forgotten how awkward that meeting was.
My darling Jules. I love her so much. We were childhood sweethearts, you know.
I don't have all day.
That's lovely. Did she enjoy the movie last night?
Which movie?
Hurry up, old man. I'm late for work.
She booked a ride to Van City Theater with a company I work for. Everything was dark when we got there, so I guessed you had booked the place to surprise her?
I have no idea what you're talking about, young man. In fact, I haven't been able to rouse her at all since last night. I even raised my voice, which is something I never do. But she just won't wake up.
Hey, last time I checked, this is a coffee shop, not a chatting shop.
Sorry, Henry, but I have to serve the next customer. Here's your receipt.
What's your name? Skyler. This conversation isn't over.
Oh, get out of the way already. Christ, I thought he'd never shut up. An espresso, please.
An espresso?
That's what I said. What are you, a parrot? One espresso and throw in a free bagel for having me wait so long.
But I can't...
Free bagel, or I drag this cafe on every social media platform in existence to a combined audience of 500K.
Wow, I do not miss that. I'll never understand what compels some people to treat service workers with such disrespect. Like, just because you're late for something doesn't mean you have the right to make it everyone else's problem. Your inability to properly budget your own time is on you. Ugh. That's a big part of it, you know? Part of what wears you down to a shell of a human being. Like, people seem to have this assumption that just because you work in food or retail, that you're uneducated or unambitious or some other kind of not good enough. But that's not how capitalism functions, is it? That's not how all this really works deep, deep down. We don't all enter this game on equal footing. They tell us that hard work wins in the end, but really it's cheating that wins, isn't it? The cheats and the bullies and the colonizers, and as long as you can lie well enough to not get caught, you'll be fine. Lying, cheating, and scheming? I know exactly which clip to play next. This is Alexandria Books. Both of my ex-roommates work there, or at least they did when I last heard from them. That's Steve coming out of the adult section with a book under his arm and a grin that is making my skin crawl. Okay. He's walking over to the teen section now and he just casually crammed an erotica title into the teen section. He looks way too pleased with himself. All right, now we've switched views. We're in the adult stacks and he's just walked into frame. He's running his fingers over the spines like he's trying to decide which one to relocate next. And he's so focused that he doesn't notice when someone else walks into frame.
And just what do you think you're doing?
Oh, hey, Kobe. I thought your shift didn't start until 4.
I got called in. Apparently there's a big meeting in the back room. I was sent to get you.
Why you? Why didn't they send somebody like Tony or Heather?
Does it matter? Now keep your voice down and let's go.
Kobe just grabbed Steve's arm and yanked him from the stacks. Now he's dragging him across the store to the back room. Okay, now we're watching from inside the back room. There are piles of boxes and rows of metal shelving. The fluorescent lighting flickers more back here than it does in the actual storefront. And in the center of the room, there are about 20 people sitting around in folding chairs. Some are slumped and others seem on edge. 2 women face the group, perched on tall stools. Well, one is perched and attentive, her hair pulled into a tight bun. The other is draped over her stool, like she's waiting for someone to feed her grapes.
Thanks for finally gracing us with your presence, Steve.
That's Hairbun. Steve has that big, nasty grin on his face again.
You're welcome, Sarah. Anything for you, baby.
That's my boy.
That's Grape Lady. She reminds me of Cleopatra, but I know that's not her name. It's something with an M. Mary?
Now, where were we again?
The competition.
That's right. H&P is in the lead, and we can't afford to let them win. We've got spies on the ground trying to figure out how they work so we can sabotage them.
I wouldn't say sabotage. We're making the playing field just and fair for everyone.
By sabotaging them.
Would you keep your voice down?
Yes, Steve.
I know we're working together and all, but do we have to work together? Living with Kobe's perfumed out.
I do not use perfume. That is my natural musk.
Natural my ass.
Settle down, boys.
Because we honestly don't care.
That's not true.
Do whatever you have to do, folks. Just don't let them win.
Some of us have moral standards to live up to.
Moral schmorals. You can meet with your goody two-shoes team later.
Why,
Everyone knows what they need to do. Now go out there and get it done.
Monica! That's her name. A real nasty piece of work. Still, she didn't deserve what happened to her. Nobody does. Hey, what's this? A new file just popped up. I could have sworn it wasn't there before. How did it get there? Looks like another video file from 15 years ago? It starts with an outside shot. Lots of sunshine, and the cherry blossoms are in full bloom. Looks like it might be somewhere on Robson Street, but I can't quite make out the signs. People are passing by in their skirts and suits. A couple of people walking their dogs. And there's a person walking toward the camera with a determined expression. Hey, I know her. The no-nonsense attitude, The relentless motion. There's no mistaking it. That's Vanessa Lewis. Okay, we've switched cameras again. Now we're looking down into a well-furnished office. Judging by the view from the window, I'd say it's on the 6th or 7th floor, maybe? There are flowers everywhere. Seated behind the desk is... That's my old manager. At Stick Shift Incorporated. The woman who hired me. She also happens to be...
Mrs. Catacosmos.
You're early.
We have a situation.
Sit down, Vanessa. Take a breath.
Vanessa approaches the padded leather chair in front of the desk and hesitates.
I'm afraid I can't be long. There are other cases...
That can wait. Now sit. Tell me what's wrong.
She sits but retains that alert posture, like a rabbit ready to flee at the slightest provocation.
It's about the new AI. A bevy of lawsuits have come in from former employees. Apparently, the voice has caused them major psychological distress.
That's ridiculous. It's just my husband's voice. They're overreacting.
Are they, ma'am? You do remember the first time you met him, right?
That was ages ago.
And your employees are everyday people who weren't born with your...
Fine, I see your point.
My recommendation? Remove the AI from operation, at least until you can change the voice to something a little less impactful. Test a few options with focus groups prior to release. It'll save the company a lot of trouble.
I knew expanding to North America would be difficult, but I never dreamed it would be this irritating.
Hasn't the company been in North America since...
Yes. That's beside the point. Fine. We'll go back to the old way of doing things until the AI is back online. It's going to be more difficult to implement now that my nephew is... Well, we'll manage. Was that all?
Yes.
Vanessa is already standing up to leave, but it's clear from her expression that something else is bothering her.
Spit it out.
You realize that switching to this technology, the AI, all of it, will potentially open the company up to cyber attacks.
I'm well aware.
Aren't you concerned?
This company has been under attack since before you were born. I think we'll be all right.
The video just cuts off there. I'd like to get my hands on the transcripts from those lawsuits. It's strange that the AI's voice caused listeners so much distress that they decided to sue. I mean, I've heard Mr. Catacosmos' voice plenty of times without issue. This is definitely something I want to dig into. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Looking for a fun way to win up to 25 times your money this football season? Test your skills on Prize Picks, the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projection for a wide variety of statistics, and place your entry. It's as easy as that. If you have the skills, you can turn $10 into $250 with just a few taps. Easy gameplay, quick withdrawals, and an enormous selection of players and stat options are what make Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. Ready to test your skills? Join the Prize Picks community of more than 7 million football fans who have already signed up. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Just visit prizepicks.com/get100 and use code GET100. That's code GET100 at prizepicks.com/get100 for a first deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy.
Before Shopify, were you wondering, where are my sales at? Now you're selling with Shopify, the global commerce platform supercharging your selling. You have no problem selling online, in person, on social media, and beyond. Gary, easy on the cha-ching.
Oh, sorry, but my Shopify sales are through the roof.
Start selling with Shopify today and discover how millions of businesses around the world use Shopify to ignite their selling. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/listen. Shopify.com/listen.
Okay, I've just read through the transcripts of 45 out of 60 total lawsuits against Stick Shift Incorporated's use of AI during this time period. I would have read all 60, but my French is abysmal and my Spanish is even worse. But the more I read through the cases conducted in English, the more I was reminded of the hot coffee case. You know the one. It was all over the news. Woman purchases coffee and is shocked that it's hot, accidentally burns herself with it. People thought it was hilarious. It made people feel good about themselves to laugh at her. How silly, how stupid. We are so much smarter than her. We would never make that mistake. But if you take a moment to actually read the court case, you'll discover that she was hospitalized for over a week and suffered third-degree burns that required skin grafts. And these cases are a lot like that. On the surface, they seem frivolous. A digital voice gave me a headache. Wah. But the facts are another story entirely. Everyone who heard the original AI developed chronic migraines, tinnitus, and PTSD. Half of the people affected also experienced hallucinations, paranoid delusions, thunderclap headaches, cluster headaches, seizures, and minor hearing loss. 15 plaintiffs developed brain tumors, 13 were institutionalized, and 5 took their own lives. One plaintiff described the voice as, "Every little thing I was ever afraid of, all rolled up into a ball and squeezed down, right down into the middle of my brain, where it would grow and grow until I didn't exist anymore, just that horrible ball." Another plaintiff said, "It was death, all the dead things squirming in the ground, dead voices rising up out of the grave all at once, eating through my pores. It ate my will to live, swallowed my everything. Everything." Most plaintiffs were too traumatized to even comment on the voice at all. Stickshift Incorporated settled each case out of court before the trials concluded. I'm not sure what to make of this. Why are some people affected by Mr. Catacosmos' voice and not others? Maybe there's some kind of genetic mutation? I don't know. I'm grasping at straws here. Just to be on the safe side, I'll state a warning before I play any audio or video that features his voice. That way, if anybody listens to these notes that might be at risk, they'll be better able to protect themselves. Another mystery file appeared on my screen. Or the cave wall that's acting like my screen? Right. This one is also from 15 years ago. Let me just open it and... there. What? Sorry, I'm looking at a dusty, barren landscape. Everything's gray and pockmarked, and the sky is this the moon? The sky is a black void peppered with stars. Okay. Part of the ground just shifted open. It's a hatch. Somebody's emerging from the hatch, and... Is this a joke? This person isn't even wearing a spacesuit. How are they breathing? Right, you can't see it. A person with a feminine physique and elfin features just stepped out of this hatch onto the surface of the moon, or a moon? But their steps aren't light and bouncy like you'd expect. I'd say this was taken on a film set somewhere, except that cloak. This person is wearing a velvet cloak that's moving in a bouncy, light, and almost slow motion way. I mean, it could still be CGI, but why would he send me this? I'm assuming he's the one getting the files to me, but... Oh, come on! Another person just emerged from the hatch. This person has more masculine features and is bouncing all over the place.
Enjoying yourself?
Always.
Why am I not surprised?
You should try it. Loosen up a little.
Something is wrong.
Yes. You're not bouncing. I think that is very wrong.
I'm being serious. Something is out of alignment. Unbalanced.
You're on vacation. Can't you let work go for a bit? Learn to play a little. Earth will still be there when you're done.
I don't think...
Come on. You've earned it.
But...
Haiti, you're killing the vibe.
You're ridiculous. You know that?
What did I just watch? A couple people just casually hanging out on the moon? How? You know what? I don't want to know. I'm just going to take that knowledge and shove it into a room inside my head and shut the door and just not open it again. Because I can't deal with that right now. Not when there are actual, verifiable files like, this one right here. Oh, this was the day of my first assessment as a Stick Shift Incorporated driver. Right after I met Henry Mason. It's, well, you'll see. We are back in my old apartment. You can see me relaxing on the couch, watching TV, totally clueless. If someone had told me what would happen later that night, I never would have believed them. I fish out my phone from under one of the throw pillows. Hello? Sure, do I need a pencil for this? Okay. Can you hold on a sec? There's someone at my door. I scramble to the door and come face to face with two stern-looking police officers. Can I help you?
We'd like you to come down with us to the station to answer some questions.
Did I forget to pay a ticket or something?
Jules Mason was found dead in her home today, and you're the last person to see her alive.
Yeah, I can't watch any more of that right now. It's way too stressful. All of this is way too stressful. Look, I'm not sure when I'll be able to record next, or where I'll be recording from, or how. But I'll tell you all about it next time. I've got a lot of processing to do. Right. Well, bye. If you or a loved one are struggling with suicidal thoughts, get help now. Visit suicide.org for a list of text and phone helplines in your area. This show is made possible in part by our Kickstarter backers, Apocalypse Cowboy on Twitter, Stephen LaFawn from the Whichever Path podcast, Dwayne Farver, and 1985 the podcast by Cherie Madewell. Special thanks to our muse on Patreon, Olivia. Thank you so much for believing in us. If you'd like to support the show, consider becoming a patron. You can also support the show by rating, subscribing, and sharing with others. Sharing is caring, after all. Stick Shift Incorporated was written, produced, and set in Vancouver, BC, which is the unceded shared traditional territories of the Coast Salish peoples, including the territories of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh nations. This episode featured the voices of Ari Shey, Brad, Brandon Jenkins, Cass McPhee, Checkov, Frederick S. Gregory, Haley C. McCarthy, Paul Hikari, Takudzwa Sharon Kirimi, and Ditrie Marie Bowie. Music for the show was composed by Anthony Luis Sanchez. If you'd like to hear more of his work, visit anthonyluissanchez.com or subscribe to his YouTube channel, Molto Rubato 88. Think you know what will happen next? Tweet us your theories, or hop into our Discord server linked in the show notes. Stick Shift Incorporated is a Microphones and Monsters production. You can find Stick Shift Incorporated wherever podcasts are found, or at stickshift.com. That's stickshift.com. You can also find other great Microphones and Monsters podcasts at mikesandmonsters.com. That's mikesandmonsters.com. Don't forget to check out our Patreon as well at www.patreon.com/mikesandmonsters. That's patreon.com/mikesandmonsters.
Thank you for riding with Stick Shift Incorporated, the only truly global riding service.
Hey guys, it is Ryan. I'm not sure if you know this about me, but I'm a bit of a fun fanatic when I can. I like to work, but I like fun too. It's a thing. And now the truth is out there. I can tell you about my favorite place to have fun. Chumba Casino. They have hundreds of social casino style games to choose from with new games released each week. You can play for free anytime, anywhere. And each day brings a new chance to collect daily bonuses. So join me in the fun. Sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, you know, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. That should brighten your day a little. Actually, a lot. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.